That's how it seemed to me. Like he just needed.
Not though. I think he
Did
saw
we
it
watch
as
the
like,
same movie?
clearly not, because I saw it as he was like grateful that Duke has spoken Rachel's name, because he found a little bit of hope, this glimmer of hope that like, okay, maybe he doesn't really love her, he loves this Rachel, and maybe I can have a chance. It wasn't like, all right, shoot, it's game time, I'm about to take your
What?
It
No,
wasn't
to me,
that.
see, to me, he was looking for a catalyst, and he found it. I really think that at some point, and I'm speaking this into existence for you and I,
Okay.
that we not only will be like because I already told you months ago that we were going to be like going over more South African features and stuff, because they just be really doing the thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm speaking this into existence that I feel like we will soon be feet on the ground in South Africa, making moves and getting to know some of these performers, because
Okay.
it's too good.
Yeah. Okay. I like that. I like
Listen.
this manifestation.
Listen, it's got to happen, because the more we keep visiting features from this place, features from the land, well, no, that's Australian. Features from South Africa.
Yeah.
The more I'm just like falling in love with the stories that they're telling, and I'm just really having a good time with these features. It's really hard to poke holes in them, but I am going to try to do that today.
Because that's what you do. That's who you are.
I'm going to fine tooth comb this a little bit. So,
Okay.
if you don't know, today we are going to be reviewing the Netflix release from South Africa, Lobola Man. Lobola Man is a new feature from Thabang. Is it Thabang Moleya? Is that right?
You got it.
Okay, look at me. And so Thabang is the director on this project. I actually, during the Demi, that's what I'm calling it now, by the way. During the Demi, I actually got to sit in on a conversation with Thabang and some other South African creatives as they were discussing that Happiness Ever After film. And that was pretty cool. And so as a result, I've started like following Thabang's like work. And when this kind of came up on my list, I was like, yeah, I'm watching this. And he's in that pocket lately of just like, romantic comedy, drama arena, right? Fine. But we're going to get into if this was as good as the last movie. We'll be honest. We'll be thorough. But just to kind of give you an idea of what we're going to be doing. Tiara, any initial thoughts before we watch this trailer?
No, I'm ready to see the trailer. Let's do it.
Let's do it. So we're going to get into the trailer for Lobola Man, and we'll be right back with our review.
I'm getting married. My condolences. And I'm looking for someone to negotiate the Lobola. Zandi, you guys found one another? That's awesome. Zandi, I mean, you guys have met, right?
No.
Yes. It's not looking good.
That was the trailer for Lobola Man. Now, just for context, I have, when I put these on, it's official, okay?
It gets serious.
It gets serious. This is just what I want to give factoids, if you will. So, just for context, before we get into the film, Lobola is a marriage tradition that has been practiced for centuries by cultures in Southern Africa. It says Lobola is a kind of payment called a bride wealth. In this tradition, the family of the groom pays the family of the bride before marriage takes place. And in earlier times, these were things like, cattle and livestock. But nowadays, it's more monetary forms of payment. So this is, for context, Lobola is like a bribe, a bride price.
Yes, or a bribe.
or a bribe. It depends on how you look at it, right? So that's just so you kind of get what we're into. So yeah, give us a synopsis real quick, Tiera, and let's get into the story.
Yeah, so the synopsis is as follows. Ace, which is actually the main character's name, played by an actor named Lawrence. So Ace, a slick Lobola negotiator, faces his toughest deal yet for a shy client, only to find the stakes are higher than cash.
Okay. Do you feel like that captures it though?
Not at all. It's funny because that was my first time reading that. So I'm like, really? I would have thought that was something different, because the trailer portrays this as a rom-com, which we know it to be a rom-com.
Yeah.
So when I saw the trailer, I was super excited because I love a rom-com, always down for that. But if I had read the synopsis before seeing the trailer, I'd be like, I don't know about this. I don't know if I want to watch it.
Yeah. I don't think that does a good job of capturing all the fun that is had in this film.
Yeah.
How would you describe it to someone if you had to tell them about it?
I would say it's a rom-com, and think of it like Hitch meets South Africa. That's how I would describe it.
Too was thinking about Hitch.
Yeah.
I'm see. We talk to each other too much because I truly was like, this is very Hitch. So in this story, Ace goes around. He is a Lobola man. He's a hustler. Let's be honest. And he sets himself up to negotiate prices for people who are about to get married, right? So he sits down with the groom and the bride's family, and he's basically an elaborate middleman, and he does all he can to get as much as he can out of these families so that he can get paid for it, right? But the links that he goes to like get this thing done is what makes it fun. So I'll be honest. So there was the opening sequence that was happening, establishing our main characters, showing us, a montage of him and how he is and what he gets into. And then there was a scene after that montage where our character enters and he has a beard. Now I'll say this, Tiera, I was thrown off because I was like, this means they did a good job, I guess, right? Because I was like, damn, he looks like the guy in the montage.
You know what? Yeah, I see what you mean.
I was like, but the beard that they put on him, because I was like, is that him or is this it? They did a good job. Like it fit him on. It was a little thick. Like if you once you look at it, it's like, okay, I see that it's fake because it's supposed to be fake, right? But at first, for a moment, I was like, wow, he looks like the other guy. And then in my mind, I was like, what kind of story am I getting into? Is he playing more than one character? Is he, I really didn't know where it was going because it just, I don't know. I guess they did a really good job because I was confused. So that happens. We get introduced to him, but before that, I want to talk about the flashback scene. Okay, the flashback scene was set. It was like 20-something years, right?
25.
And I was like, but the car, is from like 63.
Okay, so let's talk about it because I had that same thought and I was like, wait a minute, hold up, what year is this? All right, I had to do my math and I'm like, okay, 99, give or take 98. And then I was like, okay, maybe those cars were around in Soweto at that time because the car threw me.
Yeah, yeah.
It definitely threw me.
I did like that, what that scene established though, showing us Ace, I almost said Lawrence, showing us Ace as a kid and what he kind of had to bear witness to. So we see Ace as a kid sitting in a car, tearing up this ice cream, this popsicle. Turn it up, okay?
Turn it up in the way that kids do, okay?
Yeah, he did not care. He was like, look, I can sit in this hot car all day as long as I got my ice cream, okay?
Okay. And he did, because, his dad would take him with him to basically go cheat on his mama. So he'd leave the son in the car and go drop off you know what.
Yeah.
And the son would be in the car having his ice cream, and he was fully aware of what his father was doing.
Yeah.
But to him, it was normal because he, witnessed that a lot.
Yeah. And it was the perfect setup for showing how like what you witness as a kid can affect you directly, as you mature. So we fast forward, he's he's older and he's, living his life, and we see him, he's a womanizer, if you will, right?
Yes.
And he's doing it up. And we don't hate him for it because they already let us know why he do what he do.
Correct.
So we also get introduced to some other characters. Who are those characters, Tiera?
So early on, we get introduced to Ace's best friend. So the character's name is Sepiwe, played by Primo Baloyi. Some other key characters who we get to know along the way is Duke. I would say that he's kind of like the co-star with Ace because his storyline is very, very important. He's actually the guy trying to get engaged and get married, actually.
Get hitched.
Get hitched, if you will. So that character's name is Duke. He's played by Sandile Mahlangu. And then I think it's worth noting our key character, our bride-to-be in the film, if you will. Character's name is Zandi, and she's played by Kwanele Mthethwa.
I ain't gonna try it, hey.
I was gonna say, excuse me, guys, for my pronunciation. I'm doing the best I can here. So, it's all love. We're doing the best we can.
So, with those characters introduced, here's my question overall for the film. And that is, and maybe someone can answer this for me. That is, are we supposed to not realize that all these characters are dogs? Like, y'all are so trifling. Ew.
What you mean?
Everybody's trifling. Everybody. So let's start with, okay. We know Ace, he's doing his thing. He's, hooking up with women or whatever. What we don't know, spoilers in this, by the way, where this is for people who have watched it and want to discuss it. So Ace is doing his thing. And what we end up learning is that one of the women that Ace finds himself with is Zandi, right? Wasn't he with her already?
No.
Oh,
he met her at the club.
Woo. Okay. Woo.
He met her at the club.
Okay. Woo. Wee. Okay. Woo. That got me. But okay, so what happened at the club then?
He met her. So he was there with his bestie, his married bestie, by the way, who's kind of like his voice of reason. He's there having drinks with the bestie, and the bestie's like, bruh, it's about 9, 10 o'clock. I got to get home to the wife. And he's like, no, stay with me, stay out with me. Let's chit chat, let's kick it. Bestie's like, bruh, I don't need the problems. I have to go home. It's about that time. So he leaves him.
Okay.
And that's when he looks across the room and sees the gorgeous, beautiful Zandi and needs to walk over and approach her because he is extremely confident, borderline cocky, but like in a likable way. So he goes over and approaches her, and that is how they initially meet.
Okay. Woo. Woo. Okay. Woo. Okay.
You feel better now?
Yeah, because I was about to, wee. But in that moment, so he speaks to her or whatever. She doesn't really play him to the left, though. Not like you would expect.
You don't think so?
I don't feel like she did.
Huh. Okay.
Because how come they kept it up?
She entertained it a little bit because she was flattered and she liked that she was approached. And we later find out that Zandi is engaged to Duke, who she likes and she says she loves, but like she don't love Duke. She loves Duke. You know what I'm saying? So in that situation, when she was approached by Ace, she was like, I'm kind of liking this a little bit. Because like you said, she could have shut that down. She didn't. So
she left that door open.
She kept it classy. She kept it classy.
So all our characters kind of get intertwined because I can't remember who told Duke about getting a Lobola Man anyway. Was it his coworker?
It was the coworker.
It was his coworker. It's always a nosy coworker.
Always a coworker.
Gives him a card and says, "Hey, you gotta talk to this guy, or whatever." And he's gonna help you out with that whole bride price.
I'll do you one better than tech. A real fake family member.
Ace Ngubeni, Lobola negotiator. For the right price, you get the right price.
And when he finally hits him up and Ace is putting together a scheme in order to get this done, I started really having fun with this because this is when they were gathering up, random people to be Ace's family. Yeah. I loved all of those little side characters.
Me too. I thought those characters were so funny and like they just had like little small parts, but I enjoyed them.
It was significant enough that it left an impact. And I was like, okay, I'm having fun with this because it's so absurd. It's so ridiculous. Yeah. And you just end up having a really good time. So they end up meeting and Ace, he is crushing hard on Zandi. Zandile? He's crushing hard on her.
Yeah.
Here's what I'm trying to remember in the order of operations, and this is where I was saying people kind of got a little trifling, right? When he started crushing on her, it was not yet known if Duke was not feeling her also. Duke hired him and things got crossed there. So yeah, like at that point I was like, okay, Ace, he's trifling for real. Because
he wasn't though, because he didn't cross any lines. He acknowledged what he was feeling towards Zandi. He acknowledged that like I've seen her out and like I'm seeing her again. This is something. But I don't feel like he crossed any lines. He kept it professional. I mean, he's being a scammer, but like he kept it professional, don't you think?
No. He was on a mission. To me, he was on a mission to get with her. Yes. And so you say he didn't cross the line, but once they went out, they went on the boat, they were hanging out together, pretending to be family, trying to win over everybody, et cetera, et cetera. Once Duke got drunk, got sick or whatever, took the medicine because he had motion sickness, all this whatever. Yeah. And he spoke out his coworker's name who he's really into. Okay. Rachel. What was her name? Ruth, was it? Rachel. Once he spoke out Rachel, which he was just kind of in a stupor or whatever, that was like the go ahead to Ace to be like, oh, okay, you not feeling, you don't really want your fiance. Bet I'm finna make a move.
You feel the same way that I feel for Rachel.
What? Okay, but Rachel, you said something about Rachel. Who is this Rachel?
That's how it seemed to me. Like he just needed.
Not though. I think he
Did
saw
we
it
watch
as,
the
like,
same movie?
clearly not, because I saw it as he was like grateful that, you know, Duke has spoken Rachel's name, because he found a little bit of hope, this glimmer of hope that, like, okay, maybe he doesn't really love her. He loves this Rachel, and maybe I can have a chance. It wasn't like, all right, shoot, it's game time. I'm about to take your.
What?
It
No,
wasn't that.
to me, he was looking for a catalyst, and he found it.
No, it was a glimmer of hope that was giving
A
to him.
glimmer-
He wasn't looking for a catalyst.
You
He
know-
was willing to keep it like,
oh my gosh,
professional.
he was looking for justification.
But he didn't do anything, so there's nothing to justify.
He
There was
wanted to
nothing
do something,
justify.
and so if you find a reason to justify what you want to do, then you don't feel no kind of way about it. Then it's not unprofessional because he was hired, right? So it's not.
Okay. For anybody who's watched this, I want to know what y'all think. Let us know in the comments. Was he grateful for this little glimmer of hope, or was he plotting the whole time and waiting for the moment where he could
was
jump
plotting.
on Homeboy's woman? Let us know.
He was
please.
plotting.
We're seeing this differently.
He definitely was
Come on.
plotting. He definitely was plotting. Ain't no way, because he saw her at the club. He approached her. She didn't really turn him down, right? He saw her again, and he was like, "Oh, yeah, there's that girl I wanted to get with."
But
right?
he didn't know that it was Duke's woman.
But then
didn't know.
what he did, he still was like looking for that opening. What? What?
Respectfully.
All I'm saying is be careful who you bring around. Because people like Ace gonna plot. But anyhow, let's move forward. Because now we're
seeing it different.
That's crazy to me. Anyhow, so Duke ends up, professing in a way his love for his coworker that he's gotten close to. And how did we get out of? Oh wait, so how did they end up going out? Ace and Zandi.
So Duke has a potential buyer for the app that he created, so he has to go back to work, and which puts him back in a situation with Rachel, who is his coworker, but also who he really wants to be with.
Yeah.
That also leaves Ace and Zandi hanging out because she had tickets to some concert or some show or something for an artist that he wanted to see or that he liked. And that's how those two ended up kicking it together. He did not
who had tickets?
Say to her, "Hey, you trying to go to this
Who
concert?"
had tickets?
She had them. She invited him.
Right.
He didn't say, "Hey, let's go to this concert." She invited him.
But if he's not a stand-up guy. We know that, right? We already established that. But he should have been like, nah. But he didn't want to say nah.
It's his favorite artist. Why?
His favorite artist. He didn't care nothing about that artist. He wanted to go and hang out with her.
He was getting his life at the concert.
Too many pronouns. Ace wanted to go and hang out with Zandi at the concert. Okay. But he was like, okay, this is a date.
No, they were hanging out, TeaRon.
It's a technicality. Do you not?
He was being respectful and got to go to the concert for free, because otherwise she was gonna go by herself or put them tickets online and resell them.
But it's like a technicality. It's like technically we're just going because you had an extra ticket, but you still plotting. Anyhow, but Ace isn't the only trifling person, because then you also have Duke. Duke is trifling in the fact that he knows in his heart of hearts that he is into Rachel that he works with. Can't stop thinking about her, speaking her name when he's half asleep, drugged up. It's who he wants to be around. He did not really care about missing that concert as long as he got to work overnight with Rachel.
But he kept it classy. He never crossed the line.
Oh my God.
He did not cross the line. He was like, okay, I work with her. I got fifis for her, but I'm still with Zandi. He even called Zandi during the middle of the work session to check on her. And lo and behold, she's out living her best life, which she lied about. Because he asked her if she was at home.
Because she's also trifling.
It's like, no, I'm not sleeping. And little do we know, she's out having tequila and going to concerts and sneaking into restaurants.
She's also trifling too.
Are they trifling or are they human?
What?
Are they?
I can't believe y'all making excuses for these shenanigans. Am I the only upstanding Christian valued person? So Sandile, she when she lies to him, so she's hanging out with Ace. They getting close. They at this point they already broke into that kitchen and made themselves what they was making, empanadas. I don't know,
sandwiches.
There was some steak sandwiches. They was cooking. They was doing some cooking for some sandwiches. But so they already did that, and then at that point, remember now, before they got put out, they were going in for the kiss. Okay,
they were.
Yeah. Huh?
They were.
Okay. So the intention was there. It just didn't happen on a what? Say with me. Technicality. So technically she had already, crossed the line and cheated on Duke. Even though nothing happened, right? Nothing happened. But she's equally trifling because she knows that she ain't feeling Duke like that. They both are wasting each other's time, right? And they don't want to acknowledge it because they still trying to see if they want to move forward with the Lobola, right? It was just I say all that to say this, Tiara, because I can't believe you make excuses for this mess. But I say all that to say this: it was a good time that was had,
yes,
because of all the interweaving of storylines and people sort of stepping on each other's toes and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
But I'm saying is if you take the fun away, the romantic comedy aspect, the kooky characters, the laughs and fun that you have along the way, everybody really, really nasty.
So you're being so judgy today, and I don't know what's going on.
I'm not.
You are. You judgy today.
I'm just trying to give you the underlying perspective that I'm just like, okay, yes, it's a romantic comedy. Yes, we have a really good time and it's enjoyable throughout. I don't really have any issues there. The acting was well done. The actors themselves were also well casted. Everybody fit their role perfectly. Even the side characters and supporting roles that we had were pleasant and just a good time to watch. It's something I would watch again. Which, by the way, before we go on, dub or sub?
Baby, dub for me all the way. Next time I'll sub. Next time I will sub.
Sometimes it depends on what you're watching though. Dub or sub, by the way, is me asking Tiara if she watched it with a dubbed over voice or if she just watched it with subtitles on. That's what I'm asking. But the next time, it depends on what you're watching, as far as next time goes. It depends on what you're watching. If it's something that you need that authenticity, it's like, okay, I'll sub it. But if it's something lighthearted like this, the dub is fine. It's actually a really good dub.
Fantastic. I mean, a lot of it was in English anyway, so it was like the mouth was, matching up with the words, so it was fine. But yeah, dub or sub, gotta go with dub for this one. But the next time I watch this, because I do plan to watch this again because I did enjoy it, I will sub. TeaRon, please give your rating.
I'm gonna give it.
I gotta hear this.
I'm gonna give it.
Hear this.
So, like I said, I enjoyed it. I had a really good time with it. The story was original. And it also gave, for our American eyes, right? It gave culture and it gave context to something that we didn't even know before we watched this, right? I didn't know what a Lobola was. I didn't know what Lobola meant. I'd never really heard the word. I would have thought it was somebody's name, right? So,
real talk.
so through that, I'm able to like learn about, cultures, or learn about traditions. And so I like that aspect. It makes me go digging for more information about these cultures and these things that people do when they're getting married in different cultures. So I like that aspect. Like all the actors and performers in this, loved the just the overall like story arcing. I think that we got to a climactic point, and in a very rom-com way, it paid off. So in the end, the people that want to be with who they want to be with end up with who they want to be with. Mm-hmm. Me personally, I would have had to swing on you, which does happen. Does happen.
It does.
The swinging, the fisticuffs do come out at some point, which made sense to me. But even then, it was really fun. In the end, I don't think these people would have really been friends after this. Even if I moved on from the situation, you're not coming to my wedding. I'm not that mature. I personally am not that mature. And so,
that's real.
I'm telling the truth.
That's real.
Yeah. You're my ex technically. So no.
That's real.
But Thabang did his thing with this and I enjoyed it. I am actually going to give this movie a Queen Latifah. And I know I surprised you. Shut your mouth. Mm-hmm. Because it's so rewatchable, it's so innocent, and it's so fun that I am able to, even though I saw the shadiness going on, I was like, I don't mind. It's the world that these people live in. It's a rom-com. It all works its way out in the wash, So yeah, that's where I'm at with it. What about you?
Well, as for me, I love me a rom-com, so I was excited to watch this. And I had a blast. I enjoyed all the characters. Like you already mentioned, I think the actors were in the right roles, playing the right characters. So I enjoyed that. I think everybody did a fantastic job. I liked the jokes. The comedy was there. The fun was there. The pacing of it all, loved that. It kept me interested the whole time. There was never a point where I was like, Lord Jesus, when is this going to end? Never had that moment because it made sense. I appreciate the pacing. I like the storyline. It was different than anything I'd ever seen. Yes, it's like similar to a Hitch, but still different. And I enjoyed that. Lobola, I also had never heard of that. So I appreciated that they let us know early on what this concept is so that we were in. It wasn't like some secret that we didn't know about. No, I fell all the way in from very early on. The main character, Ace, likable, so likable. TeaRon says he's trash, but no, I felt like he was such a likable character.
Let me clear this up. I did not say he was trash. I said everybody was trifling.
Oh, okay. Excuse me. Trifling. Excuse me. Get me together.
But
no,
it works for this.
I don't think anyone was trifling. I thought everyone was great. There was no.
You think everybody respected each other's boundaries?
That was not the question. I said I didn't think they were trifling. I liked all the characters. There was no one that I could have done without. There was no one who I felt like, oh, why did y'all add them? Oh, got annoyed with them on screen. No, I enjoyed everybody. Plus, everybody was beautiful. Everybody looked good. It was just fun to see, fun to watch. I'm a fan of these actors. This is my first time seeing many of them, so I'm now a fan. I'm interested to see what else y'all are doing. So for me, it is also going to be a Queen Latifah.
See, fair enough. Yeah. We go away around that. We get to the same point at the end.
Sometimes,
but the point is, I see. Be careful, y'all. Be careful out here in these dating streets. Be careful who you hire to scam your bride's family.
Exactly. Exactly.
Oh gosh. If you have been watching this long, go ahead and do the right thing. And that is go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, also hit that notification bell so that you get notified of all the things that we are doing here on this YouTube channel. If you are watching on YouTube, you can also support the channel by leaving us a super thanks. That is a way for you to leave a donation. Anything helps, and anything that you give will help us sow more into the channel to make things bigger and better here on the Ubiquitous Blacks platform. Mm-hmm. You can find me on social media at TeaRon World on Instagram, at TeaRon with 2 underscores on TikTok. You can also find Ubiquitous Blacks all over the social medias at Ubiquitous Blacks. And if you want to send us recommendations, be a guest on the pod, send us just love, or send us a question about how you can, donate to the show. You can email us, ubiquitousblacks@gmail.com. Tiara, where can they find you?
Yes. You can find me on all the socials at Tiera Takes. It's at TIERATAKES. And also come by my YouTube channel and say hello. Check out my content. I am doing travel stuff over there. So come by and say hey. Also, you can check out my website. It's TeaRonTakes.com. And as TeaRon says, please always send us recommendations and some love our way. And specifically for this one, I want to know in the comments, are these characters trifling? Did you like these characters? Was Ace plotting the whole time on Miss Zandi? Or was it just he was waiting for a little bit of hope? Like
everybody was plotting on each other. Everybody had their own schemes that they was trying to accomplish. Ace was trying to get he was trying to GTD. And then Zandi was trying to GTFOH. Okay.
Okay. All right.
And
let us know what y'all think, please. Please.
I'm just saying everybody was trying to get something. And they got it in the end.
Well, they got my vote because I'll watch this again. I enjoyed it.
Well, until we meet again, see you all next week.